Hey everybody, welcome to Dad Talk today. We are live in Dallas, Texas at the Young Women's Leadership Summit for Turning Point USA. We've got a very special guest, Mr. Don Huffines. Don, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes, sir. So we hear you are running for the governor of the great state of Texas.
That's right, I'm going to be the next governor of Texas.
Hey, I love that. You know, Don, I'd like to talk to you about some other issues that's going on in the state of Texas right now. I don't know if you're completely aware of it, but there was a big move earlier this year to get some equality inside of the family law courts. Right now, the state of Texas is one of the worst when it comes to fathers having a relationship with their children. 93% of fathers in the state of Texas are not getting custody of their children. And it's got a lot to do with what's going on inside the family law courts. Now, they tried to get some legislation passed. Actually, a couple of months ago, it was the biggest meeting I've seen across this country. 200 parents showed up in the Capitol. They had so much support. There was the lobby, the Texas Family Law Foundation that showed up. Everyone that opposed it was from that lobby. And it completely got blocked. And there's people that are trying to fight for equality, but it seems like there is no real road to getting anything going. I mean, any comments on that?
Well, look, this is another perfect example of why we need a new governor. We need a Huffines administration because our governor, his main job is to lead on issues like this and lead on all of our Republican Party primary issues, legislative issues, and he doesn't. I mean, it's leaderless, and my campaign's all about, like I said, leadership, no excuses, and representing Texans first. But of course, I would help that situation.
Yeah.
But the governor's got to get involved on these issues.
Right.
And when he does, we'll have some success.
Well, and that's, so hard. I know people have tried to reach out to Abbott and there's never any response.
Right.
And what ways can people, you're going to be a voice for the people?
Of course.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you think you can do that he's not?
Well, take an active role in it.
Yep.
Look, the governor's, one role of the governor is to mediate between the House and the Senate, mediate legislation, keep the House from fighting with the Senate and vice versa, and also just really be a leader to direct the correct policies for the state of Texas, one that the people believe in, one that's got common sense, one that our party believes in, for instance. And you have a big legislative team to do that. And you work with the members of the legislature, and you get those bills done that we need done. And it's certainly restructuring the family court, restructuring how the courts now have destroyed the families and certainly destroyed fatherhood as we know it.
Absolutely.
And it's got to change. It's got to.
I'm right there with you. Some of the worst cases that I've seen in this country come here in Texas.
Yes.
You got Robert Garza's case. You got Chris Clay's case. We got the Jeff Younger case. They are wanting to transgender a 7-year-old.
Jeff Younger is in strong support of Governor Huffines.
Oh, yeah, I've talked to him. I mean, I consider that child abuse.
Of course it is. Of course it's child abuse. And anybody that doesn't think that got a screw loose. And I'm telling you, it's amazing that the governor and the Republican leadership in Austin doesn't address this issue, don't even discuss the issue.
Right.
And I've worked with Jeff for years on this, and it's so tragic. It's almost beyond comprehension.
Right. But you've talked about abuse with Jeff Younger. The abuse has been taking place for so long that we've normalized abuse. We've accepted abuse. And we need a governor who's going to say, this is child abuse. When you have parents that are being taken out of a child's life and a child wants to be with both parents, see both parents together, this is child abuse. And I'm sure that you are a person that can...
I absolutely, Jeff, I appreciate that. I think this is the unmentioned war that we have in our society is the breakup of families.
Right.
And it is so destructive. To be a child of a broken family, it's generational, right? It's going to be passed on to their children, and they're deprived of their father, they're deprived of their mother. I mean, we don't just have the authority to do something. We've got an obligation as the governor of Texas to make sure we keep our traditional families intact.
Right.
And promote the family. The family, like you just said, is the ministry of our health. It's the foundation of our education. It's the foundation of our faith.
Everything.
It's the foundation of everything. It's the foundation to keep the communists at bay and the government at bay. I mean, it is who we are as a civilization. It's who we are as Americans in Texas.
Wow, that is a powerful statement.
And you believe that's why it is such a target? It seems like it is targeted. Traditional family values are targeted every single day. And now we're starting to see where marriage isn't important anymore. I think
Right.
only 39 out of 1,000 new adults are getting married.
I know.
55% divorce rate. We see it breaking down every single day, and there's so many different consequences that come from that. I'm curious, some other solutions, not just in divorce, not just in shared parenting. What are some other solutions that you can bring to the table, Don, to really strengthen that family unit?
Well, I think there's we'd have to look at that, and I'm going to be looking at that going forward, Eric,
Yep.
of what is the best approach. But of course, strengthening, working with the court system, working with the laws. I think our family law judges right now, they're all elected, and maybe that's the best approach. But in the major metropolitan areas, it's not the best approach.
Right.
We've got judges that are not on our side of this equation, and they are liberal, they are socialist, and they are committed to destroying the family instead of helping the family.
That's
and,
right.
and they're Democrats, and that's how they win their primary, is talk about how they're going to help the LGBT community and all that. And we need judges that believe in traditional values of Texas. And we're going to explore how we can do that in our family law.
Don, I know you got a hard road ahead of you, and I'm wishing you nothing but luck, man. I love the platform. I love that you give everybody a voice and that we can sit down and talk to you about these issues. That's one thing a lot of people won't give to you. And as long as we can sit down and have these conversations, you're connected to the people and you know what's going on. If anybody wanted to support your campaign, where can they find you?
Thank you for asking that. I appreciate it. DonHuffines.com. DonHuffines.com. Go there and you can see where I stand on issues, and you can press the endorse button and the donate button.
Yep. If there's, on the way out, Don,
Yeah.
if there's any parents out there in the state of Texas, they're wanting to see some of them solutions that we're talking about right now. On the way out, I want you to close out the show. What's something you can say to them?
Well, I'd say that on the campaign front, let me just talk about the campaign. This is the most important election in 22 in the United States of America for a lot of reasons. It takes courage. Courage is the tip of the spear of all virtues, but it's a catalyst for all virtues. Our campaign, we've got a lot of courage. I'm representing you, the people, and I'll just say that we need everyone involved. If you want to be involved in this revolution of ideas, a revolution of ideas that made our state great, which is that our liberties come from God and not the government, that the fundamental role of government's always to defend your God-given liberties. You need to get involved, because we're going to have a lighthouse of liberty, economic liberty, personal liberty. It's going to blind the socialists from New York to San Francisco down to the swamp in Austin. And we're going to show them what prosperity means. We're going to show the whole world what it means to be really free, to embrace liberty, and to cut the chains of government. It's going to be tremendous. So much prosperity.
Don, thank you so much,
Thank you,
my
Eric.
man. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Guys,
Don,
get out
thank
there
you
and
so much.
support him. We need
Thank
to get him
you.
in office.
So